Big map, hungry for knowledge. Next thing, I signed up for an MBA at Henley, and I did this MBA, and then I sold my shares at Matchboxology, and took that money and put it into a label, an existing label that was kind of dying at the time. It was called Motif Records. It was founded by Tumi of Tumi and the Volume. But the reason I did that was because Tumi, close friend, really cool dude to hang out with. But Tumi had this special gift, and he was one of the most credible talents in the industry in 2010, 2011, even before that. And I noticed this thing about his power in the industry, and he would kind of affiliate himself with all these up-and-coming artists. He would collab with artists who were coming up, and then they would come up, right? So, everything Tumi touched was like, yo, these guys started blowing up, One of them was The Soil. So before that, Tumi and I invested in a little studio, which still exists in the back of his mom's house, and we would offer the studio to artists for free. And this little group of a cappella, gospel singers called The Soil would come out to the studio and record for free. And, we would go, what the hell is this shit? This sounds kind of weird, but okay, whatever. But then, Tumi goes on tour. I was out doing the MBA. I think it was kind of pre-MBA. But anyway, 6 months into this, Sipho Sithola's on Metro announcing that he signed this group called The Soil. And this track is the music's just incredible, and it's hot, and he's hyping this shit up, and it becomes the biggest thing ever for like the next 6 months. The Soil goes on to sell triple platinum or whatever it was. And Tumi comes back from tour, and I go, dude, what just happened here? Yeah, and so it was at that point where I was like, look, I've got some money from this business, we sold shares, let's start a label. And the label was founded on the power of his cosign, his kind of credibility in the industry. And immediately we picked some of the artists that he was kind of affiliating with. Reason was one of them. At that point, Sam from The Soil quit The Soil, and we had Sam and a group called The Fridge. And I was called Zaki Ibrahim, and a few others. And really the thing was, we weren't trying to be a label or anything like that. We just wanted to make some money from Tumi, really, But in the end, we realized, oh shit, we need to be a label. And in that process, we kind of built this little engine. The studio, the PR, the marketing. We had a bunch of service providers around us, people who would take this stuff to radio. We had a booking agent. We had all of these little suppliers in that label ecosystem. And we made some decent money, but what we did was Motif Don't Sleep. We just worked every day tirelessly to make this thing a success. And in the end, we realized we have a bit of a formula here. And this formula became what, this is going to sound arrogant, guys. Forgive me if it's like too obvious. But I think what we had done was we were really incubating the new model for an indie, for what is a hip-hop label. I met KO Cash Time at a Busta Rhymes concert, and he said to me, yo, B, I see what you guys are doing. We're watching you. We're coming out with some shit like what you're doing. And it was really around that same kind of family-based model where an established artist, the one who's kind of at the top of the game, brings up a few other artists around them. They go on tour together, and they start kind of incubating and introducing these other artists that come from it. So, 6 months or whatever into this thing, a whole bunch of labels were coming up as well. Family Tree, Cash Time. And, I really think that we started this kind of trend. At one point, we got this artist Ricky Rick, who was at one he was with Ghetto F, kind of in the shadows, and we found a sound that Ricky had, and we're like, yo, there's a sound here, and it was and we got to this Amantom Bazan, right? We're like, yo, Ricky played some rap shit. He really wanted to impress the MCs in the label, and we didn't think he was a rapper, but we loved this Kwaito shit that he was doing. And it was at the point, the industry kind of coined this term, was it New Age Kwaito, right? And we're like, yo, that's where you at, bro. And from that came Boss Zonke and. But like Lance said, divorces happen, right? So we had contracts with all our artists. I know Ghetto F was more organic, but I kind of, with the NBA, wasn't as hands-on. Tumi, touring, so we weren't label people. And we didn't really care about selling records. We were doing this shit because, there was live money and some brand money.